Hi, Mark Statler, Superintendent of the Southwest District, here with just a thought to share with you today on this video blog. It comes to mind because I've been driving my car around. There's been this rattle in the back of my Toyota Camry, and at first I thought it was just stuff in the trunk rolling around, but then it sounded a little different than that, so I got back there and started looking around. Now, I know very little about cars. It's not my strong suit, not my gifting. But I got up in there, looked around my muffler, and I found this thin piece of metal laying on top of my muffler. Oh, what is that? Where did that come from? But within a few minutes, I figured out, that's a piece of metal that sits between the muffler and the rest of the car and acts as a heat shield to protect the car from the heat of the muffler so the car doesn't go up in flames, which is a pretty essential piece of equipment, I would think, right? So I was thinking about all this and how I need to get my heat shield fixed, and I was wondering, I've also been doing my prayers, and I started thinking about, well, this heat shield, which I didn't even know was there, it's a pretty essential piece of equipment, it's kind of like prayer. It's kind of like prayer in that it's something that's under the surface, people don't always see, and it's pretty essential for us. It kind of acts as a prayer acts as a shield or a guard or a buffer, right, in life. And so, as I was thinking about this, I was remembering Jesus' words, when you pray, do it in private, do it to yourself. That Jesus even kind of told us prayer is meant to be that something that people don't even know is there. And yet, it's critically important to how we do life. So, if you're at all like me, when I first started thinking about prayer as a shield, I was thinking about I'm the car, and the heat and the fires of the world, that's the muffler, and prayer is this protective shield between myself and those fires and the heat of the world around me and the anger of others and that kind of thing. But the more I got to thinking about it, the more I thought, that's maybe backwards. What if it's really the other way around, right? Because when I think about prayer isn't me trying to change somebody else. Prayer is me in conversation and connection to God, dealing with me, dealing with my heart, securing me in my relationship with God, and opening my life to the challenges that God has for me, and trying to move me from my self-oriented life to a God and other-oriented viewpoint on life, right? That this is what prayer does. When Jesus invites us to pray for our enemies, he's not asking us to try to change our enemies through our prayer. He's asking us to change our heart toward our enemies. And so the regular practice of prayer can be like a shield. Not so much protecting me from the world, which I certainly prayed those kind of prayers before, but maybe helping me protect the world from the worst versions of myself. Because it's in prayer, keeping me connected to God, that I can do that work in advance. I just know that when I'm not practicing prayer regularly, I'm more irritable. I'm less patient. I am pretty sure that I'm more reactive and that anger bubbles up in me more quickly. There's the words of a song. The song's name is Presto by Rush. It says, I'm not one to go pointing my finger. This is really the critical line. When I radiate more heat than light. I can certainly be like that, can't you? Where I'm radiating more heat than I am light. Jesus didn't ask us to radiate heat. He asked us to radiate light and love. And in a world out there right now that is our culture, by the way, that's so, angry, sensitive, on edge, reactive, our prayer lives are really critically important because the world doesn't need us to contribute heat. The world needs us, Jesus needs us to be contributing light. So keep yourself centered in prayer to protect the world from the worst versions of ourselves so that the world can see in us the light and the love and the patience and the peace of Jesus as we interact with people who may make us angry, but we do it in ways that are centered in our connection to God, not on our own terms. Just a thought for today, so go pray.